Sweden, what a country. Despite all things Swedes has done across time and space, one of the things that has gone under the radar is the Swedish language, and no, it's not only swears and odd names, there's more to it. I of course mean within the realm of video games, with the most prominent work being Mirror's Edge. Sure, there are plenty of Swedes who has worked on games before them, but there hasn't been many actual Swedish words in them. Presenting to you Horror Tales, developed by the studio Euphoria Games, who has been behind plenty of horror games. After kicking off the game, you are introduced to this game's protagonist, Tom, who wakes up in a shed, his so-called headquarters, and escapes for a reason that will be known later. After acquiring a letter on this door, you learn there has been cases of kids gone, seemingly being kidnapped by a mysterious figure. The first part of the game is to require some eggs for Mom. Thankfully, nothing happens at this point, it's just Tom gathering eggs, thus making this the perfect time to learn the controls. They're relatively easy to understand, the was keys to move around and different actions on different keys. That's a common practice for most games. Usually movement keys are shared across different games, the other keys are different. You get to talk to somebody on the walkie-talkie, whom is probably his friend, who for some reason sounds like an alien. What? Upon getting the eggs, the next step is to place the eggs in the basket and then push F on this map to travel around, with the first stop being the barnyard. This is actually some nice details, such as the basket actually having the eggs when leaving the location. There's even a nice camera angle, but not everything is as it seems. Upon waking up at the barnyard, the game can truly begin. The core objective is to fix the bike by finding the right object to get the wheel fixed. Now, naturally, a game with horror with this name needs an element of horror for the name to make sense. Well, that element comes in the form of that guy in the distance. He's patrolling the area and Tom have to stay away from him. Otherwise, he gets you. I mean catches you. So the game is a fetch quest. Find objects and avoid the adversary. So let's start off by listing the good stuff, as this game got some, believe me. There are a lot of things to praise, there are also a lot of things to not praise. The color palette is just great. There are a lot darker colors, such as purples and yellows. It is dawn after all, and that tend to be some of the best colors when building atmosphere, with some of the prime examples being Serenity Arrival, with the afternoon becoming night. This one has that going for sure, but there is only time when the concept of it being done really shines through. I mean, just look at this environment at school, it's great. However, that doesn't happen in real time, meaning the sky is not scrolling, it all stays in one place. Sadly, if intentional or not, what you are noticing the most are the characters themselves. Yes, it's not a self-insert, Tom is an actual character, meaning he has urgency, a voice that sounds like a 10-year-old. But where do you notice the most? Their faces, but what do they look like that? I mean, like the Uncanny Valley. Basically, when something or someone is referred to, that is when a tiny detail is off, does make the entire person look weird. But because he's covered, the guy in the mask doesn't look too off. Well, you know what? Speaking of him, on every location he keeps chasing after you, and as you will notice, he won't go away, won't teleport away to elsewhere, he will just keep on walking in the same area as you. Do you know how Splendid 8 Pages became such a beloved game? Because of the way he was built up, he was quiet, no talk, no noise. He just caused your TV set to generate static. He vanished and you have to keep moving. This guy doesn't. If the developers wanted to make him scarier, they did the best of jobs, but if they wanted to make him unnerving, they did fine. He does have some interesting lines as if we did something. I only wish that he would stay hidden a bit more often, as the lore is quite interesting. Oh well, you can at least interact with the environment. Also, listen to the music. And I must say this, the music really does fit the atmosphere of this game, with a very slow tempo as well as suspense. So you have 5 hearts, and normally dying removes them, and since this is meant to be a horror/mystery game, then getting caught is what takes away a heart, and you have to restart from a special point, which are usually the starting ones, hence why that is when I stop playing. I can say at this point I like this game. There's something to really enjoy here. The color palette is really strong, along with the sky, that makes a visual treat, and so are the different environments to look at. Sadly, as much as the color really gives it some flair, the villain is a bit too prevalent and the characters looks really weird. I will say this, I didn't play through the entire game. There were plenty of environments I didn't get to see, and there are probably some more I didn't see. And if you want to try this game for yourself, then I will link it down below. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.